It's good to see you again. It's been so
Good morning. I'm so glad to say welcome to today's edition of Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of Zinaria here in just north Plateau State, Nigeria. Today happens to be Tuesday, and it's a lovely Tuesday morning, the 24th day in the month of September, the year 2024. Iji Adamu is my name, but you can call me Cool B, and I will be just fine. This program is yours. Actually, it comes your way every weekday, Mondays to Fridays, every week. And once it is 8 o'clock, we start and never stop until it is 9:30 a.m. And time check is 2 minutes down the hour of 8 o'clock this morning. So, we have three segments. The first is review, and I would love to prepare your mind, dear listener and the viewer, that today's edition of the review segment is going to be an opened mic edition. So get ready. You'll be the one to actually ask other fellow listeners if they have eaten, and you will be the one to tell them about SMART, talking about your goals. You'll be the one to give the morning ginger. And so, many of you would always say that Unity Train is actually like a lecture room. If it's a lecture room, then today happens to be the day that you will be tested. And I hope that you, after being tested, you will be trusted. Okay, so I would put on the studio line so that you can call and let's hear from you what you have concerning trending issues locally, internationally, just any issue at all. So get ready. Just after this intro, I'll put on the studio line for you to just join the conversation and, in fact, take the lead. Again, we have the second segment, and we're looking forward to have a guest for the second segment this morning, God's willing. The last, of course, it remains the same, interactive, where we ask questions and continue to do this together. And this I cannot do without you. And I would love to say a very big good mornings to Barrister Paul Zaruma. Of course, if not for anything so serious, he would be here. He has been called to attend to issues even outside just north, but within Plateau, so he'll be traveling this morning. Sir Barrister Paul Zaruma, wherever you are, even as you embark on your journey, we pray that God in His grace and mercy will see you through. You go to and fro, and we pray for the safety of God Almighty upon you. And to as many of my listeners right now that you are on transit, I pray that you too will experience God's protections and safety all through your journey. It doesn't matter the distance. God is going to be with you. And someone is saying amen somewhere. I want to believe. And again, I would love to say, if you're passing through any health challenge, I pray that God will remember you again. As often said by Professor Poveno H. Bamayi, we have more sick people on the street than we have them in the hospitals. So wherever you are, if you are sick, you've been sick, I pray that God remembers you for healings even right now. And concerning hardship as well, this too is another big problem, not only to myself, but to everyone. If you've been following Seat Reports, somehow I wasn't able to make it, and apologies to you, but the reason is just because of the hardship. Sometimes you cannot predict what happened on your way to your office. So one of those reasons made it possible for me to have failed to be on Seat Reports this morning. Apologies to you. And again, Professor, might not be with us this morning. And he has taught many of us. And so you are one of those who have been learning under Professor Bamayi on this platform. So let's hear you. And Professor, I'm sure he's listening right now, and so he'll be happy to hear you, his fellow students, how well you will represent the beauty and the joy of a man who has made it in this life is to have people whom have learned under him and are doing a great job. So if you want to make Professor Pavena Ejbame and of course Barrister Paul Zaruma, it's for you to represent them this morning and on this segment. All right, so the studio line is actually on right now. So we get to hear from you. Before then, I would love to read a few headlines from TG News, a newspaper there. This one say, insecurity, Governor Lowell's blame game, a result for disaster in Zamfara State, expert. Another headline still on TG News says APC governors used armored escorts to intimidate voters. We must condemn this rape of democracy. This one is credited to PDP. APC winning the election is a testament. Nigerians are happy with my economy policies. Tinubu says that. Okay, yes, of course, it is expected that if it's not working, then you remove the person from office when an election comes, all right? So if an election comes and goes and then you have a particular specific political party still leading, then it means that the policy of that political party has been accepted by the people. Well, that's what the statement seems to mean, all right? But then, when you call, I get to hear from you. If truly it is because of that you have accepted the economic policies of Mr. President. All right, another headline here says, still on TG News, says, Ganduje's grip on APC tightens. Court dismisses suit seeking removal. Oh my. So that one is still there. Still on this newspaper, it says, Maiduguri floods. Tinubu orders creations of disaster relief fund. And again, Edopo, I am vindicated. Hope Obasaki learns his lessons. This one is credited to Shuaibu. Okay, Edo elections. Senator Abo defies party lines to support Governor Fintri. You know, Governor Fintri has said that he hasn't seen a true stand, you know, of supporting credible elections in Edo. And this senator is saying, yes, he feels the same way as Governor Fintri of Adamawa is saying. Adamawa State prioritize education. Fintri unveils a comprehensive policy. These are the headlines that we have for your listening delight this morning on Unity Trend, Unity 93.3 FM. Just okay, dear listener, and our students, students of Unity Trend. Professor is listening and he would love to hear from you. How would you be able to represent him on today's edition? Is open mic. I'm sorry, I never told you before now. But then, let's just see what you can do, because your test will be coming not just when, of course, in this country, it's not all the time that you are told that you'll be having a test. Okay, so let's just begin. 070-3235 3315. Who's going to be the first to submit his test this morning? The studio line is 070-3235-3315. So, our first student to represent. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling. Your name?
Thank you very much, my brother.
Okay.
Pastor Eric from Refuge here in
Pastor Eric, you just won yourself the best student of Unity Trend of the year.
Hello?
Yes, let's have you. So what do you have this morning for us, Pastor Eric?
My brother, there is a lot to this hospital room. It's not just a classroom.
Oh my!
It is a physician's room.
Oh my!
The reality is that what you're doing is apt and direct.
Thank
so
you.
The society is molding and is building, trying to get Nigeria to fit in with the happenings of the times.
That's lovely.
Having
Encourage.
said this, could be
Yes, sir.
our environment with the SS6 of the way we dump refuse
Yes.
in gutters and many places is creating a lot of problem to our environment.
That's
more
true.
especially here in refuse.
That's true.
We need to crave attention. If the government is doing a lot to be able to solve these problems,
Yes.
citizens should make serious help to help the government to be able to clean the city
Okay.
and the
Okay.
environment.
Okay.
Having said this also,
Okay.
there is this newspaper headline that I had this morning.
Yes.
Classroom has been created for Yahoo boys, and police could be able to arrest such people.
Okay.
And I tell you, within and around us here, such classrooms have been created.
Okay.
Instead of our future generation to think of things that is vital, that could help build a society that is full of morality and sanity. We are creating a generation who exploitation, even because our leaders in politics,
Yes.
our leaders has not shown good example. You can see a method of stealing a nation. How will students not cheat in the exam hall? I do say that that is a very good idea to copy. But generation give birth to what they label themselves for. So it's a very serious problem that our society has gone into. Killings of young children. I had a story in Kaduna, and the one that is being posted, and the ones that are killing their neighbor children and the person are the ones that are at the age of 15, 17 to 20 or 30.
Yes.
So there is a problem within our society concerning the youth right now. It's giving me a serious burden on how we should carve out a method to bring out this our time youth to be effective in positive ways, not in wrong ways.
Oh.
They have copied wrong, and their mentors are the leaders of this time. We should regress and address this quickly.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
God bless you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Eric, calling all the way from Redfield in the city of Jos. Here, actually, he happens to be the first student to volunteer and represent the entire class. Well, you too can be a part of it. 07032353315. Amongst the issues Pastor Eric raised is about our own contributions to doing a lot of harm to the environment, indiscriminate dumping of refuse, and also having a classroom for our youth, for Yahoo. It tells you that the future blames. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Kubi.
Thank you for being the second student this morning.
Thank you very much. This is
All right, submit your assignments. Let's hear you all the way.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate you for your good work.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I will continue to bless you for your good work.
Amen. And you too.
And this morning, I still want to emphasize on what Professor Borders said.
Yes.
Let's ensure to work on our goal. Let's ensure that what we are planning to do, we ensure we do it. See a house, is it a project you wanted to embark upon? Try as much as possible to work on it.
Yes.
That will ensure that we make our goals to be smart.
Yes.
You see, I don't always forget this. To be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound.
And time bound. Smart. That's lovely. That's lovely.
Let us go in the same way. Let's ensure we put in our effort and ensure we put in more effort to fire rather than to retire. You understand? We will not stop to talk about the good things we want to happen to this nation. Is it the road that we always talk about? We seek opportunity to talk about the road.
Okay.
You understand, Mr. Kubi?
Yes.
We should continue to hold each and every Brazilian and Nigerian to stay in peace and ensure that we remain peaceful people. You understand, Mr.
Yes,
Kubi?
exactly.
And on the other hand, I want to speak on the election, on the platform.
Yes.
You see, with the election that are taking place, politicians will never give in. They will always ensure they are winners of election. But we are the voters. We must be wise now and do the needful by ensuring we bring in credible people.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
I'm using this platform to step on the Plateau State election coming in a couple of weeks now.
Yes.
Please, let's not take it in listen.
All right.
We don't want a situation where fingers will be pointed at a particular party. Let's do away with party and let our politicians be Democrats and ensure that they unite. Can we see a situation where we see the APC and the PDP coming together towards nation building instead of fighting and taking each other to vote?
All right.
You understand me?
Yes, exactly. I'm with you.
One of the things we begin to talk about. But let's ensure we do the little as black people. Let's unite, make ourselves one by making ourselves as a party.
All right.
Whoever win an election in a state or a nation,
Yes.
part of Nigeria.
Oh, yes.
You understand? So with this, I will cut it like this to ensure that let's unite ourselves and make ourselves one.
All right.
Let's do the parents. Let's inspire instead of retiring.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Deomi, one of our regular listeners there, and he offered himself to be one of those who will represent in class. Unity Trend, according to Pastor Eric, he says it's more than just a class for academy, okay? But it's also a place for a therapy. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kunti.
Thank you so much for calling. Your name?
My name is Steve Ambassador Usman Dixon. I'm calling from the area.
Peace practitioner as well. Thank you. Let's have you in a moment.
Thank you, Kunti. I want to comment regarding the election of Edo.
Okay.
Really, I don't put the blame on Mr. President.
Okay.
Regarding the Edo election.
Yes.
Why? Because since the coming back of democracy from 1999 till date, that is what our leaders are doing during every election.
Okay.
Rigging, vote buying, sharing of spaghetti and other food items. I could remember during Obasanjo regime. That is after 2003 elections. Someone made mention of even Jesus will come back to this world. They will not stop rigging election. This is how our leaders are doing in every election. I don't put the blame on only one president. Almost all of them, they are doing this thing. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Usman Big Seven, peace ambassador and a peace practitioner, that St. Charles here, he's not saying that Edo elections was rigged, but he is saying if there's anything as that was rigged, then it is not the problem of now, it's a problem that has been there. Well, that's just what he said. I'm just putting it in another way. All right. So please, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for calling. Your name, please.
Yeah, I'm Bashir. One time Dankoli, calling from Jos.
One time Dankoli. Let's have you in a moment.
Yes. I know Professor maybe now is hearing me on the air. I'm just saying hello to him.
All right. Okay.
And apart from that, I want to talk one thing about the present election of Edo.
All right. Please go on.
So you see Nigerians now, they are growing in political issues.
Yes. We're growing.
They are growing gradually in political
I stand with
issues.
you. Yes,
So
I agree.
the political leaders, they should take their time on the time of the election. Even if you are not doing, when you are inactive, even they may vote you out of the office. So they should take care and do the needful things. So we are very happy with the system. People are not voting for only based on the party, no, based on the candidate. So thank you very much. I'm Bashir Dankoli.
Bashir Dankoli, thank you once again. Thank you once again. I truly appreciate. Okay, some of our class students this morning decided to send their text messages. So they have engaged me. I think I'll be reading their text messages. I have a few here. The first one say, a bright Tuesday morning it is. Could be. And the prof, have you eaten? Yes. Suda. All right. The president's declaration, true or false, that Nigerians are happy with his economic policies? Please respond. Malam Giwa from Sabon Pegi Jos. Malam Giwa, this question is to your fellow students, right, my dear listener and viewer? because this definitely is not my question to answer. Mine is to read your text messages and then I have someone else answer. That's my job here. All right, so do you think, dear listener, that the reason for which APC got it at the just concluded DOS election, is an indication that men and women have appreciated, and appreciating the economic policies of Mr. President? Yes, it is expected to be that, because by elections, with election, you get to vote people out of office. If you don't vote them out of office, it simply means that you are in love with whatever it is that they have been doing. Okay, so we key on this reality. That's what has happened. And so it simply tells you that the forthcoming elections in Plateau State and other elections, as we'll be having them coming on and on, if anyone is not doing anything that you expect, that you wish and pray for, then it's going to be time to vote them out of office and vote others into office. So please, elections is a serious thing. Politics is serious. So even if you decide not to be an active player in politics, politics is already doing you. So you better do it. Okay, thank you. Thank you, the student who decided to send his text message. Let's have this one too. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for calling. Your name? Okay, where are you calling from, please?
From Rukubaro.
Okay, how is Rukubaro this morning?
We are fine, my brother.
All right, I just came through Rukubaro this morning too. Okay.
What I'm saying is about our president.
Yes.
Please, my brother, I'm sorry to say that I think our president know what is happening in this country. If Nigerians are happy with his government, that is protest everywhere in Nigeria. We in the studio there are doing the impact of the bad government. I said the same thing. Everybody, everywhere in Nigeria, if not the politicians working with me, no Nigeria is the governor.
Okay.
So I'm trying to let him know that what he's saying is just fooling Nigeria. We cannot fool us. We are not fools. Let him stop making that statement. On election or in a day, it was reached by the people, that is INEC.
Oh, are you sure about this? Are you sure? Are you sure about this?
Yes, now I saw everything in the television.
Okay. All
I
right.
was following up. Since that day, I was following up.
Okay. All right, thank you.
They carried the paper with the police. Uncounted the paper from because of cancelling the election. They carried it to their office. And when they go to the office, they say that DGC people should not come inside.
All right.
That's when they call our budget again, our budget for 1 year. The budget again, they have come inside with everything.
Okay.
And forget, you must pass forget before you go to.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your submission. Okay.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate. Well, he's entitled to his opinion. That's it. So this one says, good morning, Mr. Kubi. Indeed, what Mr. President is saying about the winning election in Edo State has indicated that his economic policies has brought changes in his country is totally wrong, because the citizens are always complaining of hardship, while the president and his cabinet, as well as his cabals, are busy enjoying themselves, while the citizens are busy dying of hunger in the land, to say that the economy is in his stand. The margin vote in the Edo will definitely tells a lot. Ishak Nebaji is in Call Street and Tire. Thank you, Mr. Kubi. That's the much we take on this edition of, segment of Unity Trend this morning. We'll be coming back after this commercial break. So please, dear listener and viewer, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune in to Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way.
It concerns you. It kill law, it kill dreams. It land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was saying things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
TV. Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?
Viewer, thank you so much. I want to say welcome back to this very wonderful segment of Unity Trend, Unity 93.3 FM, Unity TV. Okay, we are streaming live on Facebook. You can connect with us already at Unity Radio FM/TV JOS. This is the second segment of Unity Trend coming your way this lovely Tuesday morning, the 24th day in the month of September, the year 2024. We are reaching you live from the hills of Zinaria in Jos North Plateau State, Nigeria. You can still call me Kulbi if you like, but of course the name remains Iji Adamun. On the second segment of Unity Trend this morning, I am honored to have someone who is an active citizen of Plateau State. All right, he's not a passive one. He's not somebody who sits and folds his hands and watches things happen. Yes, he would always say it just with the intention and desire to have things go well for us. He's in the studio. He's not a first-timer, neither is he a long-timer. Just 2 weeks ago, he was here. I'm talking about Engineer Kelvin Panshing. He's in the studio, and I'll let him say a very big good morning to our listener and viewer, even right now. Engineer, sir, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers.
Yes.
I hope today is good and everybody is taking the best of it. I wish you the best of the day as we go about our normal business.
So you're not looking as if you're in Nigeria, because most Nigerians don't look excited, you know, the frowns, and that's what you see, especially those who are coming out of the markets. When they're going in, you see some level of smiles, but when they're coming out from the marketplaces, you see them frowning. But you're just smiling all the way. Anyway, thank God for your life, sir.
Thank you. I have a belief that anything that you cannot change, don't think about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, mine. I think I love this for this day.
Yes.
Anything that you cannot think, don't kill yourself thinking about it.
Anything you know you can't reverse, you can't change. Don't think about it.
Okay. Be the change.
Yes, because
you want to see.
As it is now, I'm not a policy maker that I can make some policies that will change. Yes, the prices of goods in the market.
So
that will change the price of fuel
and then,
in the filling station. So why should I think about it?
And okay, I see. All right then. So that's lovely. Thank you, dear listener. On a lighter note there, before we get into the business of this morning, you know, for us in Plateau State, in few weeks' time, it will be time for elections, and we'll be there at the polls, and just to get to vote in people whom we desire will bring about massive developments in our various wards, local governments, and that's what it is. So the time is coming for you to participate. The time is coming for you to be part of it. So what's your position? Are you even aware that there's going to be an election just in a few weeks to come? How prepared are you? How do you trust the process? So that's what we're discussing this morning. And we have it for a topic as the role of stakeholders in electoral or election process. Elections have their processes, right? And so do ours in Plateau State also. So whom are the stakeholders? And now the discussion begins. Stay tuned. Engineer Kelvin, we have stakeholders. So when you say stakeholders, it means people who have a hand in something. So can we have maybe do I say a lineup of these people whom, of course, I refer to as stakeholders when it comes to election in the process?
Okay. I think election, just like we know, is now the only platform which we use to elect our leaders or produce leaders. Is now the process, the industry through which leaders emerge.
Yes.
And therefore, there are processes that have been laid for those people to emerge. Because even in industry, there are processes even here. There are processes before we commence this this program. Yes, we're here talking, but there are so many stakeholders who are responsible for this comfortable sitting that we're sitting here.
Yes, and others are listeners.
Discussing. Because if without the listeners, we wouldn't have been here.
Yes.
If without the engineers,
yes, our being here will not be as effective as
if the architect have not built this place, we wouldn't have been here. So, right? So many and so on.
I love this picture, sir.
Yes, it's the same thing with the electoral process. There are people, there are majors, there are stakeholders, and there are many. You see, the police, which is the security, let me put it that way.
Security.
The security is one.
Okay.
The executive, that's another arm. The legislators, that's another arm. The judiciary, that's another arm. The electorate themselves, that's another arm. Okay. The media itself, these are another group of people.
So we too are stakeholders?
Yes, you are, of course.
Okay.
Then the civil society organizations, then the electorate themselves, right?
They're stakeholders.
Yes, these are all stakeholders as far as election is concerned. Because I started with, I said executives. Those managing the affairs of the country. Because if you were going to, let's say, have an electoral bill or law being promulgated or being passed into law, definitely either it is an executive bill or legislative bill. Either way, right?
It is a bill.
Right. And in the course of any process, if there are misunderstanding between the legislators and the judiciary and the executives, then the judiciary who interprets the law comes in, right? So they are equally critical stakeholders. Then the police who enforce the law, right?
Yes.
The police who enforce whatever law that has been promulgated, then the electorate who participates in the election, then the civil society organizations who monitor, make observations, right? Because the electoral empire is one of them, which is either PLASEC or INEC, whichever you call, you understand? And that falls under the executives, right?
Okay.
Yes, we're breaking them down, then we can now get the PLASEC or INEC and whatsoever, right? Then the media who make it public for the public to know what's happening, because if there's law today, how many people can come to House of Assembly to know what's happening? But by just one click, one sentence on this air, people will get to know that, wow, something like that is happening.
Okay.
Because how many people have access to Government House, have access to the House of Assembly complex?
How many people even know the place?
Yes, how many people know even, like, there are people that they've never been to court themselves. Yes, they don't know much about court process. I think I'm even one.
Okay.
I'm one of them.
Okay, you don't go not because you don't know.
I don't know anything about court process. I think I've only been to court only once in my entire life. That was sometimes 2022 or so. Yes,
but I'm sure you're not proud about this.
Well, whether I'm proud or not, it makes no difference. Yes, yes, because I don't have much business going to court. I'm not a lawyer, right? Yeah, so for me, the stories I heard about court, if you don't know how to behave there and something like
yes,
so I avoid it completely.
Not
yes, since I don't know how they operate. Right. So you see, these are the stakeholders.
Oh, I see.
Right? Now, these are the stakeholders. But we're talking about having a credible election. Right? Then the political parties.
They too are
yes,
stakeholders.
because these are independent body who make their own noise to be heard, their voice to be heard, who make their decision about the electoral process. They have their thinking. The parties have their thinking about the electoral process. The electoral umpire, have their own. The legislators have their own. The executive have their own. The judiciary have their own thinking. The civil society organizations have their perception. The media have their perception about all this. So at the end of the day, we look at all the perceptions, but all these perceptions must converge to one point.
All right. To ensure
credible election.
Okay.
You understand? At the end of the day. But how do we ensure that? It means everybody must play his role very well. Like the electorate, is it just coming to vote? Right? It's just beyond just coming to vote. Who are you coming to vote? What does it take to vote? Right? As an electorate, you are going to vote to make a change. Not the change of the candidate, right? Of maybe someone who has been in power, not just to change him, but to change the system itself for good, progressively.
To hit the system in such a way that it
yes. You are not only voting to change the leadership, but to change the way the leadership work for better. Right?
Okay.
To me, that is what the electorate does. Then the electorate too must operate within the confines of the law. As you are coming to vote, right? Vote buying is a crime, right?
And vote selling as well.
Yeah, and vote selling is a crime. Violence is a crime, right? Trying to manipulate the beavers machine with the maybe electoral officers, which is now the collaboration between perhaps either the electorate, the party, with the electoral umpire who is supposed to be unbiased there. These are another thing that the electorate must know, that you as an electorate, you are not supposed to do A, B, C. If this is done by you, it is a crime.
Yes.
Right? So that is the aspect of the electorate. Then the police is there to be unbiased as well. Not to be biased that, okay, if party A is committing a crime, then because you have sympathy or whatever relationship with that party, then you turn, deaf ear or blind ears to what's happening. But when party B does something that it amounts to nothing, then that's the one that you become hard on them. And severally, when it comes to Nigerian politics, we see that playing out, because mostly those in power, yes, the security system seems to align with them more. That's what's happening. Yes, we must say no to that. Severally, it happens because, like the election that is upcoming now.
Yes.
After the legislators, the executive, the whatsoever, and we go to the pool, the main person there,
yes,
the major witness at the polling unit is the security.
Okay.
That is the major witness, is the security. Now, if they are not playing their role very well, at the end of the day, that is where compromise is taking place.
Okay.
At the polling unit, the electorate, the police, the electorate, the security, and the electoral umpire. These are the three people there. It is when we come here to the judiciary, then 4 people are now involved: the judiciary, the security, the electorate, and the party. You understand? They are now involved because one party must have taken one party perhaps for litigation and stuff like that. The other one come defending. Then who conducted the election, either is PLASEC or INEC, will be part of the issue. Then the police who were there, then the agents of the political parties, right? So that is how the number increases. But when it is trickling down, started from the legislative, the executive arm, you see, we begin to check the process. It starts from where? Apart from the conceptualization of the idea on how the electoral process should run, right? We look at, okay, the intention. What are those? What is the content? Is it manipulative? It is designed to serve a particular interest, right? These are things that we check. Then we look at the funding, right? We look at the funding, and as it's dropped in the legislative arm, was it adequately deliberated?
Did all the legislators were given the space to speak? Were people shut down? Was it just a voice vote? Right?
Yes.
Because we are trying to make a law. Is there any public hearing on such law that they get the public input? Because these are things that determine how qualitative the law is going to be at the end of the day. But when the executive, maybe it's an executive bill, you send it to the legislators, and perhaps the man presiding over the legislative arm uses his powers arbitrarily and shut orders down and call for voice vote, and at the end of the day, the law is passed. Right?
Okay.
That creates a lot of questions. And of recent, you can see, even from the budgetary aspect of the system, when the electoral umpire, if they are staff of phone, then there's a tendency for them to compromise. And that's coming normally from the executive. Just of recent, look at two things that have happened on the plateau. And this is the one that I expect that by now, this is where sometimes people fall the civil society organization. You wait only during the election and it begins to talk that the election is this and that. You know, they are not doing this thing. As far as I'm concerned, okay, you have to check, you have to watch the electoral process from the promulgation of the law. Like what's happening on the plateau right away.
Yes.
How can it be that in the middle of the game, just like we said the other day, right, that the electoral law, when political parties were done with their primaries, they've submitted, they paid even plastic. Then midway, then the law is sent to, the bill is sent to House of Assembly for legislation. What kind of law is that? And the civil society organization could not say anything about it. And by 9th of October, they'll come trying to observe. What are you observing? Because you need to begin to observe it from the process.
Okay.
So for me, then the media, I want to believe that media would have amplified that too. Right? Such behaviors, they are a sign that the election is going to be compromised. Yes, because even from those who have contested, I want to believe that some of them by now they are frustrated because I must have indicated interest to contest for this election because I believe the previous electoral law says I'm going to serve for 3 years and my vision and plan for my community is for 3 years. Now midway, after I bought the form, everything, then somebody now changed the law that I'm going to serve for 2 years. At the end of the day, if I don't perform, people will blame me, but because that was not my plan. If I had known it's going to be 2 years, perhaps I wouldn't have contested. You know, these are things that people should raise an eyebrow and ask the necessary questions. And again, of recent,
not until it is too late.
Yes, it's too late. Then again, another aspect of it is, okay, they just brought the budget. Yes, this month, this is September, and the election is coming up October, and they brought a 5.7 billion naira budget for the election midway. You get it? Who told them that the House of Assembly was going to accept the budget? Is it a pre-planned something? Because they have their opinion. So is it that it's a rubber stamp House of Assembly that they've known that they must accept it? What about they don't accept it?
Wow.
If they don't accept that amount, are they going to postpone the election when emotions are high? So you know, so to me, these are processes that no, they are not supposed to be like that because the House of Assembly can say no. This thing we don't understand. A, B, C, D. Go and do it again.
So
right, and that may delay the whole process again. So I want to believe that before you announce that you are going to conduct election, you've even given the timetable. You know the date, right? You would have given your budget, right? The law would have been in place. So these are the most important things that should be done. And therefore, I'm calling on civil society and the media that they are not doing much. Yes, they are not doing much.
The role of some of these stakeholders is not being effectively,
felt. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Like talking about the budget as well, like you have mentioned, and yes, the legislators actually did their work, not this time not arguing, but even to argue it in such a way that it favors plastic budget, right? Because they added to what was sent to them. So you see, is this not a work? It means they have done their parts.
I'm not saying that they didn't work. All I'm saying is that I said the executive, is it that they are looking down on the legislators? Because I'm looking at the time.
Okay.
The time is short.
Okay. With which you expect them to have sent this?
Yes, earlier. So that every one of them is a document that everybody need to study. They need to study. It's a public document. And they're legislators. If you bring a budget of like 5-point-something billion, you must put items. And I want to believe that it contains pages. Right?
Okay.
It contains pages. 5.7 billion is not okay. It's not 1,000 naira.
Engineer.
Right? So you must have said item A, B, C. At the end of the day, it contains a lot of pages. If it contains like 50, 60 pages, how many people can read 60 pages at a go? Right? So they must digest it. They must look at all the figures. They must check them. You know, put all the dot and the t's and check. Okay, so that they make their input. But when you rush them, at the end of the day, you know, this Africa. Not everybody has this reading mentality, right? Just like J.F. Kennedy said, that you want to hide a secret from a black man, you put it in the book.
But definitely not Nigerians.
You understand? They said black. If you are not blacks, then fine. You understand?
Anyway,
but if you interview so many people, that is the issue. You understand?
Okay, Engineer Kelvin. Now let's look at the issue of this budget that you raised, and also that chairman had to serve less period than
the previous one.
Yes, 2 instead of 3 years now.
Yes.
Now let's talk about the electorate. With all this, the budget coming at the time you thought it would have already been there, and also that the chairman with which they will be, electing in the nearest future is to serve in 2 instead of 3 years. So what would be your call to the role of the electorate, even with looking at these issues at the forthcoming election?
Well, the electorate, I think, mostly they have less problem as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps maybe their challenge is they're incapacitated in protecting their vote sometimes.
Okay.
Yes, that is the aspect that I think they need to step up. But it is not their fault. They're incapacitated, right? Because we live in a society that is only those who are at the top that are always right. Anybody at the bottom is always wrong, right? But those at the top, they are always right. You get it? What someone will say, and you go out with it. Okay, the president said some months back, the president of this country, yes, the present president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he said the governors are suffocating the local government. It's in the news. He went, some Yoruba elders paid him a courtesy call before the Supreme Court judgment about the local government autonomy. He said the governors are suffocating the local governments. Has any of them taken the president to court?
Not really.
None of them has taken the president to court, right? But there are young people here that they just make some statement and they lock them up. Because they are down there.
All right.
These are clear examples.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So mostly the electorate, their challenge is that they are incapacitated.
In most cases.
Yes, they need to step up. And what the security fail to even understand all the time is, you see, if I'm a security personnel, I have my relations among those people, right? Those people at the grassroots. Now, if because the government of the day just influenced me to do what is not right for the system, that at the end of the day, virtually everybody will fall a victim to it. Then my people do fall victim, and they begin to put pressure on you. You see, in democracy, either we all win or we all lose. This is what I mean by either we all win or we all lose. If the right people are elected into power, right?
Yes.
If the right people are elected into power, they will do the needful, and everybody will benefit. Even the man who contested against him will benefit.
I see this. Is
right?
All
it means
gets it, so all.
Yes, it means everybody is a winner, right?
Okay.
But when the wrong person emerge, right? Then everybody becomes a loser, irrespective of how you look at it. Yes, they must have messaged your ego, but you don't take your ego to your dining table. You don't take your ego to your kitchen. You don't take your ego to pay your school fees. Right?
That's all right. All right, thank you very much, Engineer Kelvin. Okay, time check is 8:55, and it's time for a commercial break. We'll be coming back, and when we do, we'll be talking about your role being a dear listener and electorate. So let's get to see some more of what you ought to do. We have elections for us in Plateau State. So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune into Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
I was the head boy in my primary school, senior prefect and best graduating student in my secondary school, but drug abuse almost ruined my life.
I was on an average of 2 grams of cocaine per day.
I was taking 8 ampoules of pentazosine daily.
European shisha, cocaine.
I became a user, a dealer, and a gangster.
I saw other users drowning. I knew I didn't want to be like them, but I was already trapped.
My family disowned me.
My employment was terminated.
I sold my car, sold my house. I'll go out well-dressed and return shoeless, shirtless in exchange for drugs.
I was seeing things that were not real, and I once stabbed myself because I felt something crawling under my skin.
I contacted NDLEA and started therapy.
I spent 3 months in therapy.
I spent 8 months.
It's easy to relapse, but your mind has to be stronger than the cravings.
Drugs does not love you. You are not the one using drugs. Drugs are the one using you. Say no to drug abuse.
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays, 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money.
people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Unity. Unity TV.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?
Welcome back. This is Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of Zinaria in Jos North, Plateau State, Nigeria. Iji Adamu remains my name, Kobe if you like, and I'll be just fine. This is the last segment of Unity Trend this morning, being Tuesday, the 24th day in the month of September, the year 2024. It's time for you to join the conversations. Not only do you join, but you take lead, actually. So if you call them your name and location in 1 minute, that is to say in 50-something seconds, let's have your submission. This is not because your opinions are not of any value to us. No, it's nothing close to this. It's just because we want as many who would want to also be part of shaping the society to be able to also give in their contributions on this platform. All right, that is why we say in seconds. All right, before I put on the studio line, remember we are streaming live on Facebook at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. Also on our WhatsApp channel, the same, you have it there. In the studio, it has been Engineer Kelvin Pashing, and we've been talking about the role of critical stakeholders in electoral or election process. Thank you. Stay tuned. Before I start picking your calls, I'll let Engineer Kelvin to now tell us what he feels about the forthcoming election in Plateau State in terms of the role expected of you, dear listener, being an electorate. Engineer Kelvin, we're having 2 years elections. Chairman had to serve for a tenure of 2 years, and then governors 4 years as it is. So just give us a brief of what you feel about all these things, and then the role of electorate.
Well, you see, we talk about critical stakeholders, and I think at this point in time, the issue of 2 years, you see, that idea was conceived with no vision. Yes, and perhaps it has some ulterior motive attached to it, right? And they didn't even look at the economic implication, the waste that is attached to it. Okay. Because, yes, okay, the budget now, according to the supplementary budget that came, that is the supplementary budget. Because before now, the PLASIC has met advertisement, have communicated the political parties, right? Their salaries, so many things had happened before this supplementary budget, right? So we don't know how much that cost. Then you add to, assuming that one is just 300 million, since this one, if the one they've been working all this while,
yes,
right? For how many months now? And they only have less than 1 month to go, and they are spending 5.7 billion, perhaps on material, sensitive, non-sensitive, and all those grammars, right? If you assume that, okay, we only assuming, but I want to believe it's more than that. If we add just 300 million to the 5.7 billion, it means if we're running for two years, right? It means in the next 2 years again,
yes,
for this same thing to happen, they will spend another 6 billion. 5.7 plus 300 million that we assume. I know that will be the least. If you go and ask PLASIC now, they must have spent more than that. I'm pretty sure, right? Because the way around observing the primaries as part of their role.
That too is another
right?
expenses.
Yes, that of course. They made advertisement, they made, Now, if it is 6 billion, 6 billion in this first 2 years, after 2 years, we expect to spend another 2 years, 6 billion. Assuming we maintained the same amount, 4 years of tenure of a governor, he must have spent, because there's a borderline. If the first year, which is now, then in the next 2 years, you are going to spend another 6 billion. Then if it is 4 years, in 4 years time, you spend another 6 billion.
Okay, so you're saying...
So 6 billion times 3. It means the government will just waste 18 billion.
So you're saying...
They would have saved, they would have used it just for, let's say, 6 billion to take care of everything. So you can see the waste of about 12 billion.
Engineer Kelvin, so you're saying in a tenure of 4 years of a governor, we have in 3 times elections for the local government chairman.
Of course, that is what it meant.
So you have one.
The borderline, the first one, which is before the tenure commence, you start it. Then in 2 years, you conduct another election, right? That is the second one. Then in 4 years again, you must conduct another election to go into the 8 years. So it means within 4 years, the governor or the government must have spent 18 billion taxpayers' money being wasted.
But Kevin, what's your take about, would you prefer a situation where local government chairman having the same period in office with a state governor?
Yes.
Yes,
it's more economical.
Okay.
Yes, that money. Imagine there are places that are crying for just 200 million naira to fix their bridge, and they don't have it. So many. I have in my community.
So you think in 2 years, chairman...
So now you said?
In 2 years, local government chairman and ESCO will not...
2 years, where will they get the resources from? Where will they get the resources from?
Okay.
Where will they get the resources from? And even if there are other things that they must have done with the money. But if they are spending, if they say, okay, after 4 years, you see, as we spend this 5.7 billion, then you wait after 4 years, you spend another 5.7 billion to go into the 8 years, right? But for this one, for you to do 2 years, to go into the 6 years, you have spent already 18 billion. 18 billion. Now, if you take 6 billion, we have 17 local government in this this state.
Yes, in Plateau
right?
State.
In Plateau State.
Yes.
You can give them no less than 300 million. Right?
Okay.
Because if we say 17 times 3, where do we arrive at? 17 times 3 is about 51, if I'm not mistaken. 3 times 7, which is 21 plus, then you multiply 3 by 1, which is 3, then plus 2, which is 51, right?
Okay. You talked about...
Why I'm using that amount is, it means at the end of the day, if you give them 300 million, that is just 5.1 billion. I want us to get the division.
Okay.
So 300 million given to every local government. I told you there are bridges in some communities that 50 million, 100 million, 200 million will take care of it.
Primary school.
Yes, that it would have helped their economic activities. Yes. Children can go to school. There are communities that once it's raining, children don't go to school.
Or the risk.
Yes.
Going to school.
They can't, right? They can't go to farm. If they have a market, they can't go to market. So once it's raining, it affects so many things in those communities, and that is what taking toll of our growth as a people. And look at it, because of lack of vision, people don't think ahead, and they want to just waste our resources. And this is why I'm calling on the media and the civil society organization to ask questions: what is the rationale behind this? Conducting more election, apart from the crisis that election normally generate, elections have been the prime mover of crisis in so many parts of the world as we speak, right?
Okay.
So nobody will encourage short-term election, that you keep doing election within a short period of time, because it's like you are promoting heat. The wound of the last election have not been healed, and then another one again
is coming. I
want to believe, yes, there are people that if you have a fracture, right, in the next 2 years, I don't think you've properly recovered. And in the next 2 years, they've started another process again that you've not been healed from that wound. It's still fresh in your mind. You know, so to me, I don't see the rationale behind it.
So are you saying elections?
But how I wish they should convince us.
Elections in this part of the world is hardly, very, very hardly disassociated with violence. That's what you're saying.
Of course.
And if you should be having elections in 2 years in a state like ours has just been approved, then it means we are not predicting, we are not prophets of doom. And then in your opinion, you're saying there's likelihood of having, to go through, conflicts, elections, kind of related.
In this part of the world, we go into an election not with our conscience, but mostly with our ego.
I see.
Yes. If you go into election with your conscience, then you allow the right thing to be done. If you go into election with conscience, then you will not attack, you will not oppress, you understand, you will not manipulate the system to you, but because we normally go into election with ego, right? Okay. And even assumption of power in this part of the world, we go into it with ego. That is why once somebody assumes office, the next thing is how to deal with, how to suppress people. You don't want people to talk. You begin to wear some totalitarian tendency like that.
All right, Engineer Kelvin, I know it's just about time. Else you'd have given us lots even more. We will be inviting you again. Let's just hear what our viewer and listener would have to say on this issue. 070-3235-3315. We've been talking about elections, okay? Critical stakeholders, their roles, of course. We've been able to see that even you too, dear listener and viewer, you have a part to play in making sure it becomes that election with which we can refer to as credible, free, fair. Okay, so despite all that has been out there already, we still have a role to play and still make it violent-free elections in Plateau State. Engineer Kelvin has been in the studio with me, so let's have your opinion in 1 minute and no name calling.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. Your name, please.
Your
name. All right, 070-3235-3315 for text messages, 0808-478-9999. On Facebook at Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. The same for WhatsApp channel. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for calling. Your name, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Sadiq Umar. I'm calling from TJ.
Thank you, Sadiq Umar. Let's have you in a minute.
Yeah, you see, I'm commenting that very, very well.
All right.
This local government election that's coming up, something that is very, very important for the people to come out to vote for their councillor and their chairmanship and their locality. And you see, like this issue of chairmanship, you know that you have autonomy. And in this short period of time, the autonomy, the chairman can able to do a lot with the local government. So there is a lot that the people have to elected for that when it comes to this local government election that is coming up.
Yes.
So today, to the Plateau government for the platform that they have said, especially in the platform, making sure that we have free and fair election.
All right.
So we are telling the Plateau to cooperate with the government so that we have peaceful election, so that we have the spirit of democracy in our localities and in our world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sadiq Kumar. On Facebook, this one says it's from Adamu Muhammad. He's saying good morning. Thank you, Adamu Muhammad. And Garba Nahali Kamba Kebbi, he's saying, hello, good morning, Mr. Presenter, and still on Facebook. This one is saying, keep it up. Abdullahi Ibrahim Dogua from Kano. Thank you. Hope Kano is doing well this morning. Okay, Asobogum Francis, he's saying, good morning, gentlemen. Stakeholders are invisible group of people who who are the organic structure of the setting organizations as adversary who correct all anomalies within to do the things rightly, but some of the stakeholders are doing the opposite, misleading and distracted the leaders only. Okay, Asobogum Francis. Oh, thank you very much. Still, you can be part of it by calling 07032353315 and for text messages too, 0808-478-9999 for text messages alone. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle B.
Thank you so much for calling.
And the able guest in the studio, Musa Ike Kalu, calling you from Angoro.
It's good to have you. Let's have you in a moment, please.
I'm very, very happy to listen to Voice of Reason.
Oh, you're welcome. So,
in Nigeria, we know what our problem is.
Okay.
The only problem we have is who have the political will to face challenges. Uncle B, you have been hearing it bygone time.
Yes.
You say that the government should connect people from Babale to other locations in this place.
Okay.
You see, that is what we are calling government. We are talking about election. You spend humongous money to conduct
elections.
No security alert. Spending humongous of money, crippling the economy. And at the end of the day, to result in court. Look at what is happening in the day. We are blaming INEC. We are blaming this. Is it INEC that went to the field and be buying people with money? Look at what has happened to Labour. When Labour doesn't have the money to participate on the ground,
yes,
you can see the result Labour is producing. That is what is happening to me and you in this. If you want to conduct an election in the state, you hear everybody calling, let the governor do the mission, let the governor do the mission. What is the governor? Is he the person to conduct this election? We should allow the institutions to work, give them their independence, so that everybody should not be interfering in what happens between me and you. All the political parties, put in their various political envoys, do they conduct a credible election? These are issues we and you should be talking about. These people should allow us to elect the leaders that lead us both in the primary and in the secondary. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ike Kalu. Okay. And if you call, remember also that comments made on this platform are not in any way the position of Unity 93.3 FM. And as usual, it's always try not to, again, toward the path with which it will not support our vision of promoting peaceful coexistence. So far, there hasn't been any, and I truly appreciate you. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay, that is not stable. You can call us back. Good morning, Mr. Kobe. As always, the Professor P.H. Bamayi said to be the change you want to see in this life. Indeed, as a student, we cannot always be relying on Prof and others, responsible people to talk to us about what to do. Honestly, we should not allow one or more individuals to cause mayhem or artificial disaster, and we keep accusing the government for not intervention. Please let us be caution on what to do and whom do we make our society clean and peaceful, even for the goodness of our family and children. Thank you at Ismail Isajas and Shanu. Thank you. All right. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you so much for calling, sir.
This is Victor. I'm calling from Lukubaru.
Okay, Victor, it's good to have you calling from Lukubaru.
My contribution concerning the local government election is simple and apt.
Okay.
The 2 years term given to local government is highly condemnable.
Is that? Why?
It's one of the poorest states in Nigeria, and we cannot be given this type of allocation. It's an economic body. And that is why there is no development in the state. I think the government should begin to venture resources into things that will be productive and not into an election. It is not right. We need to have leaders that think and have foresight for the state and not putting money in ventures that will not bring any productivity, that will not provide jobs and opportunities for the youth. This is my take this morning. Good morning, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Victor. Okay, all right. Good morning, Kobe, Barrister, and the Prof. Absence. Kobe, Barrister Paul has never responded to my request. This time, I want to meet with him. I wish you all the best. Amy Longs from Agenge. Thank you for being committed and really desiring to also send your own opinion to Mr. President. And I want to see situations where Nigerians will be bold enough and insist that they want to send letters to Mr. President because it's actually their president, whether he voted him or not. One of our callers always wanting to see the process, what is involved in writing to Mr. President. It looks like an impossible thing, but I love his commitment every day.
Okay, I think
ask him to see.
You see, let's be very factual here. You understand? Yes, we have over 200 million people in this country, right? And that's one. Two, like, let me even cascade it down to Plateau State. I cannot be fair to my governor here to say we have almost 5 million people on the plateau, and people want to write him letter. It's okay, but the best way to channel that is you have at the national, you have your senators and your House of Reps. These are people that can access, can access the president, right? You channel your this thing through. That is why they call them your representatives. They are representing you at that level. So that is why there's always a meeting point between the executive and the legislators. There's nothing that the executive will do that will not seek for the input of the legislators, right? Except those things that they are already established by law. But even by law, the budgetary allocation every year, every fiscal year, the president will send this thing. So our advice, if you have a House of Assembly member, if you want to speak to your governor, you go through him. If you have the president, you want to speak to the president, you go through either your House of Reps or your senator. So I understand his position, but unfortunately, to be sincere, they cannot take that, because imagine we write, assuming 10% of Nigerians, which is over 20-something million people, write letter to him. That's about 20-something million pages.
All right,
even it's just one page.
Thank you very much, Engineer Kelvin. Let's, because of time, good morning, Kobe and the guest. I want to remind us of our goals, which must be smart in the midst of hardship. There's always an opportunity. Tough times never last, but tough people do. So never give up. Nigeria will be better as we prepare for the forthcoming local government elections. I pray for peace and successful elections. We must on that day en masse to vote for competent and capable candidates irrespective of religion, ethnic or political affiliations. Peace is priceless. Let's live in peace. God bless Unity FM, Plateau State and Nigeria. Christy Zhang from Rukubarot and Bulus Womanin, Esther and Ferenga, and saying good morning, Kobe and the guest. May God continue to bless you both for the great work you are doing out there. May God continue to help us in this country called Nigeria. We pray for a better Plateau State and Nigeria as a whole. And this one say good morning, Kobe and Engineer Kelvin. So we really appreciate you and your sincerity always that hate what is wrong, but don't hate the wrongdoers. Engineer, I can see you hate sin with all your heart. You criticize speech, but you respect the speaker. Could be our job is to wipe out disease, not the patient. Be of good character, and this one is coming from Hassan Garba, and that's the much we would take. Engineer, I truly apologize. Do you have a word to say? Well, because we have just a minute to be out of here.
Yes, I think the only thing I want to say is Nigeria should always insist on what is right.
Yes.
They should always insist. You understand? You see, the fear of being jailed, being detained, being convicted unwrongfully. You see, people like Mandela, they are celebrated because they went to jail. You understand? Most of the most celebrated people, they went through that process. So the pathway to greatness is to sacrifice for your society. Therefore, people should always insist to do the right thing. We should not bow to intimidation. We should never bow.
Should there be any, we should not bow to it.
We should never bow to it.
Thank you so much, Engineer Kelvin. It's always good for me to have you in the studio, and I look forward to having more and more of you. Time check is 25 minutes down the hour of 9, and we have looked at issues that concerns the role of critical stakeholders in elections or electoral process. And so we've come to the end of it for this morning, and I'll be saying bye-bye. Before I do, don't forget today is Tuesday, and so Ngas Community Broadcast is coming your way with Mary and her co-presenter. And again, on the road with Radio Amibo, Danjuma Samuel Abo is also coming. It's one program you cannot afford to miss. So the crew who made this possible, I say thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow for yet another interesting editions. Bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion?